tonight we're gonna have sweet and sour pork, and I thought I'd bring you along to show you how we make sweet and sour pork at our house. What you will need is measuring cups, pork cut into, I'd say about 1-inch long strips, soy sauce, vinegar, pineapple juice, oil, house seasoning, cornstarch, eggs, brown sugar, and the vegetables of your choice. Tonight we're gonna do like snow peas, mushrooms, a pepper, onion, and some carrots in it. So let's get started. Okay, the first thing we're gonna do is make I guess the dredge or the coating for the pork. And what you need 5 egg whites. I already have 3 in the bowl, and I'm gonna show you how I separate egg whites. Crack the egg, and then take it, and you just kind of spill it back over into the other half of the shell and keep going until you have the egg white in the bowl. Get rid of that one. Here's my last one. This is not a perfect thing. There are many ways to separate egg whites. Some people use their hands, some people use the shells. There are even little egg white separators. I just prefer that method. It's just easier. It's one less thing I have to clean up. Now what we want to do is we want to whisk these to a froth, actually. So I'm gonna start whisking. And when I get this to a froth, I will bring you back. Okay, as you can see, my egg whites are quite frothy. But you just really sit there and whisk them until they become foamy. So we're gonna set those to the side. And the next thing we're gonna get together is the cornstarch and any kind of seasoning you want to put in the cornstarch. Of course, I'm going to put my house seasoning in it, but you can do salt, pepper, you can skip it all together and just have cornstarch. I'm going to get a bowl and get the cornstarch and the seasoning in the bowl, and I'll bring you back. Okay, I have my cornstarch and my seasoning in a bowl, and really, there's no measuring the cornstarch, because if you run out, just make more seasoning, or make more, I call it a dredge, but I'm not sure what the official title of it is. But if you run out, just go ahead and make more. So what we also need to have set to the side is a plate to receive our dredged pork. So let me scoop this out a little further. All right. So now you can see, let me move this knife. Now you can see that we have egg whites. Well, let's switch these bowls. Okay. We have pork, egg white, cornstarch, and then the plate to receive it. I would tell you to go ahead and put the oil in your pan and get it going, but I'm gonna wait until I get most of my pork through the dredge and on the plate. I think it adheres better to the pork if you let it sit for a few minutes with the coating on it. So literally, just get your hands in here, put it in here, run it through here, and this is to help the coating stick. I think it also adds a little something to the crunchiness of it, which is kind of silly when I say crunchy, but because we're going to be putting in sweet and sour sauce, but I still think it helps get the cornstarch to stick. So then you just do this. And this is not a job where you're gonna be like, ew, it's sticky, it's sticky. Don't be scared. You're gonna make a mess, but this is gonna be so good. So here's that. Shake it off a little bit. Okay, when I get all of this coated and onto that plate, I'll bring you back. Okay, I have got the pork gone through the dredge and the egg whites. Now I'm just put the oil in my pan and waiting for it to get hot. And when it is hot enough, I will bring you back and show you how I know it is hot enough. Okay, I have my oil in my pan and I think it's hot enough, but we're gonna test it. So what you do is you take a piece of the pork or whatever you're trying to fry, and if you see the sizzling right away, it's ready. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this pan. I'm not gonna crowd it, but I am gonna pretty much fill the pan up. With my pork, and let's see, this cast iron, so I'm gonna turn it back just a little bit. And these will take 1 or 2 minutes on each side. You really don't want to overcook them. Also, if you're buying, like, these were pork chops, center cut pork chops, and my husband cut them for me, make sure you cut them against the grain. That way you'll have a more tender, tender product in the end. So I'm going to get these in here. And when I get my first batch out, I'll bring it back. Okay, as you can see, they are getting browner, and he's taking them out of the pan and putting them on a plate with some paper towel to let them drain. And if you're as lucky as I am, your husband will continue to do this part while you go over and prep the veggies for the sweet and sour sauce. So I'm going to let him finish with this, and I'll take you over here and show you how I cut up my veggies. Okay, the mushrooms and the snow peas are pretty much ready to go, so I'm going to set those to the side. And what we're going to work on is the pepper, the onion, and the carrots. I'm going to put these two to the side because I really want to show you how I like to cut up the carrots. Okay. I like them to be about, I don't know, what is that, 2 inches? And then I like to cut them thin, like that. The most safe way to do that is to find the flattest side of it and just kind of go down and make it even flatter. That way it sits. And you just go and make slices. Be very, very careful. And like I said, if you don't like carrots, don't put carrots in it. If you prefer other vegetables in your stir fry, go for it. We pretty much like to keep it basic though, because our son's not too fond on exotic vegetables. But if you want to have like the little, what are those little things called? The little baby ears of corn can go in here. I know that you can put water chestnuts in here. But like I said, my son really doesn't prefer that. So I'm going to get through these carrots, and then I'll bring you back and show you how I have cut up the pepper and the onion. Okay, I have my carrots, pepper, and onion in this bowl, and we like to take the strings, or whatever they're called, off the snow peas. So that's what I'm doing. I'm just grabbing it and pulling. That's a preference. You don't have to. And the mushrooms are all ready to go, so there's nothing to do with those. So I'm going to get this all done, and I will bring you back when we get these in the pan. Okay, we are all done. Well, I'm not. He is. He's all done cooking off the pieces of pork. So what we're doing is we're heating up another big cast iron pan, and we're going to put the veggies in it. So when that oil is ready, we'll bring you back. Okay, the first thing that we usually cook is the mushrooms, because we like to get the water off of them. So we'll put them in the pan and get them going for, what, about 5 or 6 minutes before we put any other vegetable in? No! Oh, you put the onions in too. Okay, I'm sorry. He prefers to put the onions in with, with the mushrooms. And then add the other vegetables in, what, 5 or 6 minutes? Okay, so when he's ready to add the other vegetables, we'll bring you back. The mushrooms and the onions are where we prefer them, so he's going to go ahead and add the rest of the vegetables. And how long do you think you're going to saute those off? For 5 to 8 minutes? Okay, while he's doing that, oh, he held off on the snow peas because they really don't take that long. So this is just to get some heat on the carrots and the peppers. So while he's doing that, I'm going to bring you over here and show you how to do the sweet and sour sauce. Okay, for the sweet and sour sauce, now you can buy sweet and sour sauce, and we have in the past. It's fine. It's actually tasty. But we stumbled on this recipe and we like it, so we're going to go ahead and show you how to make it. What you need is 1 cup of pineapple juice. Then you're going to need 1/3 cup of water. And try to make sure that's, if not cold water, at least cool. You are going to need 3 tablespoons of vinegar. And you can hear my Boston Terrier in the background playing with a toy, so. This can be regular vinegar, apple cider vinegar, rice wine vinegar. And if you taste this, like we've tasted this, we prefer it a little more on the sour. So I'm going to go ahead and add 1 more tablespoon. But the original recipe says 3 tablespoons. So there's that. And we're going to add 1 tablespoon of soy sauce. This can be light soy sauce. It can be whatever soy sauce you prefer. We need a 1/2 cup of packed brown sugar. Okay, and then what we're going to do is add the cornstarch. And you want to add the cornstarch while things are cool, because cornstarch, for some reason, does not really dissolve into hot liquids really well. So we're going to go ahead and add that. And it calls for about 3 tablespoons of cornstarch. And the cornstarch is in there just to really thicken it up. Okay, so now I'm going to get this mixed up and I'm going to get it onto the stove and bring it to a boil. When I have it on the stove, I'll bring you back. Okay, I have the sweet and sour sauce on the stove, and you notice he's adding the snow peas to that. So I'm going to turn this on and I'm going to bring it to a boil. And basically what you're doing with this is just bringing it to the consistency you prefer. If you prefer a thinner sauce, stop then. If you prefer a thicker sauce, keep going. So when it gets to where we like it, I'll bring you back. One more thing I need to mention. Do not walk away from this sauce. Keep stirring it because it will get away from you very quickly. So when it's where we need it, we'll come back. Okay, he is adding the pork to the vegetables just to get it warmed back through, and when we're ready to put our sauce on, we will bring you back. Okay, you will notice that the sauce, when you first put it on the stove, it's kind of cloudy. When it becomes more clear and turns a more dark brown color, you know it's ready. So at this point, it's ready for us, but if you wanted it thicker, go ahead and, let it go longer. So what he's doing is he's putting it in the pan, and not necessarily all of it. You don't want it drenched. You don't want it dripping with the sauce. You just want it really well coated. So we'll get this all the way where we want it, and we'll bring it back when it's on the plate. Okay, here it is, sweet and sour pork. I like to serve mine over rice with a little bit of soy sauce. I hope you enjoy.